I'm glad to be here with you this morning. My name is Jamal Johnson. I'm the Assistant Director of Multicultural Recruitment and Mentoring at the College of New Jersey. Though I'm not here to talk about the College of New Jersey today, at the end I will have some literature and some information about the institution where I am employed. But I do want to share with you on today just simply how to get to college. They titled this piece Pathways to College. And I'm just going to walk through you with what I think and we found to be best practices for families and especially you as students to end up being in the institution that you want to be at. Just a little bit about myself. I'm glad to be here today because I see so many students who look like me. I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. And I heard that there were some people from Camden. I heard that there were some people from Plainfield, Patterson here today. And then these are areas of town. Areas of New Jersey where I do a lot of recruiting. And I've also had the pleasure to teach in both the East Orange public school systems as well as the Plainfield public schools in the elementary education area. But what we're here to talk about today is the pathway to college. How many of you are looking to pursue some type of higher education? All right. Can anyone tell me why they want to pursue higher education? I want to see if the blanket statement is still the same. Yes, young lady?
It doesn't have to be just higher education. Sometimes it doesn't have to just having a 4-year college diploma. Sometimes it is a job or a master, they can actually find a good job.
All right, so you're looking for competitiveness in the job market. Is some of your reasons to want to go. Anyone else? Reasons why you want to pursue higher education? You want money. Okay, you want money, and higher education is the way that you proceed will get you money, right? Okay, all right. How many high school seniors do I have? Juniors? Sophomores? Any freshmen? No freshmen. How many of you started to prepare for your college search as freshmen? Okay, all right. So, as we begin looking to go to college, there are a couple of things that you have to talk about. And these are things that many families don't want to talk about, but is very necessary in today's educational climate to have these discussions. The first thing is, which is the right college for me and my family? This is the conversation that you have to sit down at the table with whoever it is that you consider to be. If it's your mother and father, you're sitting down at the table with them. If it's your grandparents, you're sitting down at the table with them. If it's a guardian, you're sitting down at the table. If it's your counselor, you sit at the table with them. But a conversation has to be had with your family about the big thing of affordability. I was sharing before you walked in that when I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go to Notre Dame. And I wanted to go to Notre Dame back then because they had the highest graduation rate of African American athletes. And I swore I was going to play football at the Division I level. Didn't happen. But I wanted to go there. I applied to go to that school. Wasn't accepted to go. But while I was searching, something happened. I saw how much it cost to go to Notre Dame. And I'm looking back about 15 years ago at costs that would have been about $40,000 to $45,000 a year to attend this institution. Well, I'm one of 6 children. My dad probably made, at that time, a little over $50,000 a year. When I look at what he made, and I look at how much it cost to go there, if he paid outright, he would have had $5,000 left a year to do all he needed to do. My dad owned a home, he owned a car. Again, I'm one of 6. I'm the oldest of 6. So we had to have a real conversation. Because even if Notre Dame University would have admitted me as a student, there was no way possible I could have attended without any aid. Okay, and I'm going to get to aid in a bit. So you have to have the conversation, because many of you have dream schools. And many of you might have dream schools that cost a lot of money to attend. And contrary to popular belief, these days, college is not free. It is not free. It can be in certain instances, but it is not free. Tuition rises from on average between 2.5 and 6% each year. And more schools are cutting the scholarships that they offer. And everybody is not a Division I athlete. And even when you receive those scholarships, they're renewable year to year. You can have one year and not the next. So that's the reality in higher education these days. Gone are the days to go out here and search for this full scholarship that's going to pay for everything, and your parents will be happy and ecstatic because they don't have to write any checks. That's the reality. Again, I'm saying college can be free, but it is not free. And you have to assume, not the worst, but you have to assume that, let's see, what's the best case scenario if I don't receive any financial aid and I don't receive any scholarships. You have to ask your family and all those who are going to be supportive, what can we afford? Okay? That's a conversation, and I go from school to school saying this day in and day out. That conversation has to be had. Some parents don't like to have that conversation. They don't want you to know what's in their pocket. My daughter, I have a 4-year-old, swears her daddy's rich. And I always say, I want to meet your daddy. I swore my dad had money. I swore that anything I asked for, because he tried to do it, anything I asked for, he would get. But it didn't mean when it came time to write a check, if I got into Notre Dame, he could not write that check. Okay, and I understood that. And that's why my search began to differ. All right? So now, after you have that conversation and it's becoming real to you, now how can I get started with this overwhelming process? These are some obvious things that you must consider. Now, you need to write stuff down, because I don't bring handouts because of my years as an educator. I know that anything you write down, you remember. If I give it to you, you'll throw it away. All right? So now you have to start thinking about my fit. What am I looking at in a school? I'm looking at the size. Am I looking for a large school? Am I looking for a small school? Do I need something right in the middle? Location. Where is this school located? I know everybody in Jersey, because I go to your college fairs. The Jersey schools, we stand there, and either we're going to be overwhelmed because everybody's parents have told them you need to start looking at schools in New Jersey, or the students, they'll walk past, I'm getting as far away from Jersey as possible. I'm not going to school in New Jersey. That's what we hear. That's what we hear. I'm not going to school in Jersey. So you have to consider the location. Where are these schools located? I can give you, I like this type of workshop simply because my experience is so rich and still in my head. You know, my mom told me that I have to consider airfare. You know, if I go to school out west, I have to get to the schools out west and back. And she said you have to consider Thanksgiving, you're going to want to come home. And then again, Christmas, you're going to need to come home. Can we afford to buy you 2 plane tickets? That has to be considered when you're dealing with location. Breadth of academics. What is this school offering me? Is it offering me the academic curriculum that I want? Does it have the major that I want? But now, what if I fall out of love with engineering? What else can this school offer me? What if I just can't hack it in biology? I know I want to be a doctor, but at our school we have a course called Biology 185. And Biology 185 is that course that says, yes, you can proceed on your path to becoming a doctor, or you might want to reconsider. That's what that course does for you. So if I want to go into engineering or into biology and I don't make it, what else can I do at this institution? Then we look at facilities. Will I be comfortable? All right. What do they offer? Are there state-of-the-art facilities? You know, what do the dorm rooms look like? You know, if I want to work out, what are those facilities looking like? Where will I eat? You know, do they have green space? These are the questions you have to begin asking. And then their residence philosophy. There are schools who still operate in the South with dorm mothers and dorm fathers. There's still single-sex rooms. Or we have schools that are very liberal, where men and women can now room together. There are no all-male floors, female or all-male floors. So these are things you have to think about. You know, when I watch families on tour and they ask that question, you know, the dad is standing there, and then the daughter will ask, are the rooms co-ed? And we'll tell them yes, and he'll look at his daughter. Or the mother will look at the son. Are the rooms co-ed? We say yes, and she starts shaking her head. You know, they might not want that situation. So now you have to say, what type of school am I looking for? Because if your parents or you don't want to be in co-ed facilities, then you have to look at a single-sex school. And you have to take that in consideration. After you start taking that stuff into consideration, now it's time for you to start visiting schools. Rule of thumb in higher education is never matriculate into a school that you did not visit. And you want to make sure you visit that school when students are there. Okay? Do not go off of the name of the school. Yes, gotta be safe. Yes, the University of Florida has a great name. But will the University of Florida be comfortable for you? You have to look at those things. Continue your research. Continue to research your options, request applications, and begin the application process. I'll go back to this in a minute. But this is where I want to spend a lot of time. Because this is the biggest problem that a lot of our students have. You don't understand, many students don't understand what type of school they want. Okay, they don't understand the differences in the types of schools out there. And I was one of those students. I was one of those students that I wanted to attend a university because I believed a university meant that this school was good. As long as it had university behind it, I wanted to be there. So if somebody told me, and I attended the College of New Jersey, the institution I work with, to apply to Trenton State College at the time. Trenton State College? What do I go to college for? I want to go to Notre Dame University. There's a different prestige about going to a university. But I didn't understand that there were differences between a university and a college, and I didn't understand that. And many of the high school students I encountered don't either. Does anybody know the major difference between a college and a university? In the back. University has more people and is more expensive. It has more people. It doesn't always have to be all more expensive. Does have a larger population. Anybody else want to take a shot at it? Okay, major difference. Degrees offered. At colleges, the primary degrees offered are bachelor's degrees with minimal master's level degrees. When you attend a university, you have bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. So they offer a wide range of degrees. However, at universities, the emphasis is on research versus at colleges, the emphasis is on teaching. Okay? And what makes sense of how this makes sense is that when you go to a college, you're going to be in a smaller environment and you're going to be working closely with faculty. At universities, you're going to be in larger environments and you may have involvement with teaching and graduate assistants. All right? Okay? It's different, and you got to know this. All right? Because everybody won't be able to thrive in a large environment. And the way the schools are being broken down today to these small magnet and charter and schools within the school, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and more attention is able to be made. I have that same tie. I love that tie too. And more attention is being placed on you as a student and your development. But that means that you're used to a certain type of attention being paid to you. In a university is where we have our lecture halls, 200 and 300 students in a class. The professor might not know you by name. You show up to class, and you have to make sure you register into the class. And that's what happens at larger universities. Now, there are many people who are able to thrive in that situation. But if you need attention, you need to be in a smaller environment. You know, this is why, and I can talk about the New Jersey schools because I know them the most. This is why when I advise